2 days after the South suffered some of the worst tornadoes in U.S. history, survivors are still trying to sort through the damage and assess what remains of their homes. Most of the path of destruction has insurance, but it turns out it may not be enough to help them rebuild after the deadly storms. And let's not forget local businesses. Some have been forced to close due to power outages. Others have been destroyed altogether. With us now is Billy Simons, owner of Rust Insurance Agency, and John Bussey, deputy managing editor at the Wall Street Journal. John and Billy, welcome. Great to see you guys.
Pleasure. Thanks, Sherry.
This is such a tough story. And Billy, I want to go to you first because my heart is really with these folks, and it's going to be a tough row for them to hoe, trying to get insurance in place. They're suffering emotionally from the devastation of losing a home. You
That's
say
right.
that it's very likely they may not be able to get enough money to rebuild. Why is that?
Well, it's not that they're going to get enough money to rebuild. See, the value of their home is dictated by what's written in the policy, and that's something that they would go over annually with their insurance agent. So it's, there's a common misconception that market value and the value of your home to rebuild are the same. They're completely different. The value to rebuild your home is far less than what the market value is in most cases. So, it's the responsibility of the insured, the person whose house was destroyed, to update their insurance policy annually to keep up with costs of
But people
construction.
often don't do that, and they often get behind the curve. And when something
That's true.
terrible like this happens, it really puts them at a loss. John, when you look at this, I would assume there'd be some government dollars coming in here to help folks. What are we going to see, do you think?
Big time. Tens of millions of dollars are going to come in. This is probably getting the hundreds of millions by the end of it, because it's just a huge swath of land that got destroyed. FEMA's already there. Obama was down today pledging federal aid. And so the aid will come in all the specters and all the sort of realms that you would think. You see the piles of rubble. Someone's got to clean that off. And the state may not have budgeted for that. So the national government will come in and kind of split the cost with them. It'll also split the cost for temporary housing for a lot of these people, and then for cleanup and reconstruction of their own home.
Billy, I've been to some of these sites before, and typically what happens, especially when you have widespread devastation like this, the insurers come in and they set up tables, people come to them and start laying out their claim. What would you tell individuals who are in this situation today? What's the first thing they need to be doing right now?
The first thing they need to be doing is making sure that they've got any documentation, anything that shows any of the value of the homes or the things inside their home. They need to get down to those tables that the companies are setting up. And those companies are no stranger to catastrophic events. They know the drill. They know what it takes. And, being in the front of the line, being in the back of the line, it really doesn't matter. They're going to make sure that they get to everybody. But be as detailed as you can be. Be as proactive as you can
Pictures,
be.
video, whatever you got,
Make sure
right?
you've got video, photos, any kind of record. You want to be ahead of them. You want to make sure that you have your ducks lined up. Don't lean on them, because they're going to be completely inundated at this point.
Well, and moral of the story there, if you don't live in this area, you might want to have those detailed lists ready already in case you do face a problem. Letting the insurer know exactly what you own, the contents of your house, what you have, the upgrades you've made, the value of that. It all helps in this kind of a situation.
It does, and those limits are dictated, again, as to what's in the policy. If you have something that's worth a whole lot more than the usual articles, you need to schedule those specifically.
All right. John, when you look at this, as I said, I've covered a lot of these kind of, devastation before. And when I covered the wildfires in California, George Bush came in, and he was criticized because he kind of sucked up all the attention of the emergency responders. It's kind of, you can't win.
That's right. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. In a case like this, the president's got to go. It's just too big. It's multi-state. There's an election right around the corner. You simply can't go. The thing that you have to do is to make sure that when you do go, you're not doing that you're not taking first responder attention away from what's still going on. They're still looking for victims that they hope to find alive in the kind of the tornado's aftermath. But if you're the president of the United States, a trip down into the zone is almost a requirement at this point. You need to do it not just for political points, but to boost the morale of folks there who have just lost.
Better.
Exactly, and feel not just better in the moment, but feel, hey, help's on the way.
Somebody's coming.
Helps
Rescue is coming. Is there any issue with getting the kind of funding to these people that they need. We know the federal government is broke.
Yeah.
We know states are having a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Do you think that could create a problem for people on the ground there?
Yeah, no, the federal government is budgeted in this zone, and they have a 2011 budget. So FEMA's prepared to kick in cash for this. The bigger issue here is what's it going to do to the regional economy in the South and these states that were already kind of back on their heels. I mean, certainly the states are feeling a really significant pinch. They're not going to be able to kick in a great deal of additional money. What's it mean for the national economy? Always the argument that this is stimulative, that somehow the construction...
Boy, that's not the way I want to get to stimulus.
And it's not. There is destruction of value in what just happened, and yeah, there'll be some construction afterward. But this is going to cost money, period.
It is going to cost a whole lot of money. We're just starting to get the estimates now, and it'll be billions
that's right.
to help those folks out, and they sure need it, and I'm glad they're going to get it. John and Billy, thanks so much for helping us out. Really appreciate your time today, helping us discuss this story, which I know we will continue to follow.
Thank you.
Coming up, months after the foreclosure fiasco.